Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Bryan Lee Whatley. Our story begins tonight with our very special guest, Emmy-nominated singer, songwriter, and musician Heather Leigh, discussing her work on her music. Heather Leigh, like most great musicians, started singing at a very young age. She was only 4 years old, sitting at her grandpa's piano bench in his church when she belted out Amazing Grace. During her life, she recently and mostly played the piano, covering genres such as Christian, country, love ballads, and jazzy blues sounds. And with her powerful, deep, and soulful voice singing in front of a crowd of thousands, you would think that she is singing right into your soul only. And every musician worries about the loss of their instruments, and Heather had to overcome a scary bit of vocal cord paralysis during a freak accident. Luckily, she is still singing for us today. Her Emmy-nominated song, Paradise Lost, was written about the tragic BP oil spill in the Gulf Coast of Mexico that caused such an impact on people living right here on the Gulf Coast and around the nation who enjoy this beautiful area and its food. With her two amazing albums, Learn and Live and Second Chances, you'll graciously find that Heather writes about music involving life, learning, and living. And our musical guest tonight is, of course, Heather Leigh, with several of her songs from her first and second albums, including Paradise Lost, With You, Learn and Live, and Second Chances. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome, Heather. How are you today?
Hey, Brian. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm so happy to talk to you. How's everything going where you are?
Well, it's raining right now, actually. I'm lucky to not be floating away, I guess.
That's right. Y'all have that newly formed tropical depression or something down there?
Yeah, it could turn into, I think, like Debbie, a tropical storm Debbie or something like that. So we're just getting, kind of pounded with some rain right now.
Oh, no. I live in Mobile, Alabama, and I think you're on the Florida Panhandle somewhere down there, and I completely understand about all these tropical storms and depressions and stuff, but, I always say if there's a chance to have a hurricane party, throw the hurricane party, so I don't want anybody to get hurt, but sometimes you could just make it fun, though.
It is fun. We actually, in my family, we really love, when tropical storms are coming. It's just I don't know, weather is a big deal, and we like to watch the news and, buy all the stuff and, eat out of cans. I don't know.
That rocks. I like that.
Yeah, we pretend like it's going to be bad even though it isn't, and everybody, we get excited.
So before we get into everything about your amazing music and your songs and everything like that, can you tell a little bit about yourself for our listeners out there?
Well, sure. I perform under the name Heather Leigh, although my last name is Wainscott because my grandfather always called me Heather Leigh.
Oh.
And, so I decided to perform under that. And I have 3 excellent kids, and they all sing as well, so we have a really good time with that. And I write my own music and play the piano, and I'm a nurse. So just your average run-of-the-mill mom who runs around with her, hands full all the time.
No, that's like Superwoman. You're more like Superwoman. You're a nurse, you're a mom, you're this amazing musician. Do you have time to sleep, or is that, scheduled for a later date?
I actually do sleep. I love my sleep, so I do that. But I'm also training for a 10K race right now, and so I try to get out there and do that in my spare time as well. So,
nice. What kind of race is this?
Well, I'm going to start with a 5K, but my ultimate goal is to actually do a half marathon. So we'll see. Yeah.
See, I'm comfortable at the 5Ks. Love running those. But, marathons just aren't for me. I'm too short and stocky for that, so.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't stocky at all, but, it's just one of those things. I don't know. I had back surgery 6 months ago, and it's just one of those things that I told the doctor when I was done. I said, it's just on my bucket list, I want to do it. And he's like, okay,
Nice.
I'm not going to stop you. If you want to do it, go ahead. So, all right, here I am.
I have a bucket list to jump out of airplanes and swim with sharks. My ultimate goal is to make sure that I don't jump out of an airplane into sharks. So.
You can combine those two. You'll be done.
I know.
Bucket list complete.
Yeah. And end of life. Right there.
Exactly. It could be on your tombstone. He completed his bucket list. Yeah. God rest his soul.
He would have lived longer if he changed his list.
Exactly.
Oh my God. So let's talk about a little bit about your life. Growing up, you started singing very, very young, right?
I did, yes. Well, according to my parents, they would hear me humming in my crib before I could talk. My mom says she would hear me singing myself to sleep. So that's what they say. Of course, I don't remember that. But my first real memory singing is my grandfather was a Baptist minister in Georgia in a little tiny church, and he put me on the piano when I was 4 in his church, and he said, "Heather Leigh, I want you to sing Amazing Grace." And I did, just, sat there and belted it out, and of course, everybody thought it was adorable, and I was hooked after that, just performing and singing and sharing music. That was it for me. So that was my youngest memory.
How was your musical inspirations growing up? Is your grandfather one of those?
He did sing. My mother sang. She has 3 sisters, and they all sang together growing up in harmony. So my mom always sang with me and to me. So she was a big inspiration. My dad loves music. Bless him, he really can't sing, and I hope he doesn't hear this, but he really can't sing.
No dads can sing, really. My daughter tells me all the time.
He can't. But he loves music, and so he would listen to stuff. So really, I got a lot of music from different genres growing up because my dad liked bluegrass and Southern gospel, and then I was in choral music in school, and so we did classical, and we did big chorale type music. So I had just all kind of inspirations that really fed into it. And then the more I got into music, the more eclectic my music became. And my iPod now is like schizophrenic. I mean, you can go from hip hop to bluegrass to, it's crazy, to opera to, it's just, there's all kind of stuff because I love music. So there's inspiration from everything.
See, I'm the same way. I love music, and I'm the same way with, from rap to, religious Christian music, to hard rock, to Russian classicals, to everything that I can think of.
Yeah.
So,
I just think there's a place for everything. There's a certain mood that you're in, and you're just like, I really want to hear, somebody scream. I'm working out, or I really want to hear, the symphony, and there's just always a place, I think, for everything. So
a really good story that I read about you is the fact that because you're a singer, every singer's instrument is their voice and their vocal cords and stuff like that, and you actually suffered vocal cord paralysis. Can you talk about that a little bit and how much that affected your life and your singing?
Oh yeah. Well, I think because I did start so young singing, it was such an integral part of me that I never really thought about it. I never thought I would be without it. It was just, even when I went to nursing school, I did a project on the heart. I sang part of my project. I wrote a song about the heart. I did. It was ridiculous, and I'm embarrassed about it now.
I was going to ask you to sing it.
Oh, yeah.
No,
All
I'm
I
kidding.
remember is,
It's okay.
I remember, part of it was I'm your heart, and don't you see, you should take good care of. It was really cheesy. It's totally stupid.
Cool.
But I did, So I, it was just it was me. And I think I really took that for granted. And so in 2008, I was running down a staircase, and I lost my balance. My hands were full. So as I fell, I had no way of really catching my fall, and my neck hit first, and it hit the handrail of the staircase. And then I just, twisted and hit the ground. And so I really just whacked my right vocal cord. And so it paralyzed my right vocal cord. I went to the doctor, and they put a camera in, and they said, you've done nerve damage, and you probably won't sing again.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was devastated at that point because I thought, it's gone. Like this thing that I thought, and really I thought it defined who I was. Like that was it. That was my voice. I was a singer. That's what I did. And I really think that it was very valuable to go through. I think that God had to really sit me down and just shut me up for a little while to teach me. Because I talk all the time. You're going to find that out. I talk all the time, Bryan.
This is perfect.
But I think that in order to really teach me who I really was, which, that my voice did not define who I was. God made me the way that I was, and with or without my voice, that was it, Mm-hmm. And I had to learn that, worship to me was always, that service at church, you had that 30 minutes of singing, that was worship. And so I learned that, that's not just all there is to worship. There's worshiping with your time and your kindness and your facial expressions and your money and your, you know what I mean? There's just so many aspects to me. So I had to learn these things. And I think one of the biggest things while I was at my silent times, I guess, was I decided that even if I would never sing again, I was still going to write. That the song was not going to be taken away from me, even if I couldn't sing it myself. And so I continued to write quite a bit during that time. And anyway, after about 6 months, it slowly started, restoring and coming back, and I was able to sing a little bit more. And now it's back, and that was that.
Just I'm actually kind of speechless thinking about the pain that you probably went through, not only from a physical standpoint, but also from an emotional, mental standpoint of not being able to sing again, because somebody growing up with your background and your ability to sing, and then hearing that, it must have just been heart-wrenching. And I applaud you so much for getting through it and, going through the recovery process and stuff like that. So that's a huge change in life for you to go through, and I'm sure it shaped you in so many different ways. And but did it actually change your voice in it?
At first I think it did, because it was fatigued very easily when I would sing. I could sing like a song or two, and then it would just be done. And the only way I can really describe it is, when you're about to cry and you get that lump in your throat and it feels tight.
Yeah, I'm a guy. I never cry.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm
well,
kidding.
all the girls.
I'm so kidding. Everybody out there, they're like, Brad's lying. He cries all the time.
Right. Well, anyway, for those who do, that was kind of the feeling that I had all the time. It was almost like somebody just had a grip on my throat. So it did at first. It was really tired, but I think if anything now, it's just given me more confidence to sing, because it was gone, and now I don't take it for granted. So I'm a little bit more fearless, I think, when I perform, because I'm just like, it could be gone tomorrow, and this could be the last time that I sing. And so I'm going to sing with all my heart,
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I think, if anything, that's the difference now.
That's beautiful. I like that. What kind of genre would you kind of classify yourself as? Would you country, blues, ballads? Because I kind of picked that up when I was listening to your song. That's one of the great things I love about your voice. Your voice is so rich and so powerful and deep and soulful.
Thanks. It's oh God, that's really hard. I definitely have a soulful blues quality, no matter what I'm singing, if that makes sense. So even if it's a ballad, it's going to have that soulfulness to it. I do write, Christian and gospel music. I write country. I write a little bit of jazz. Actually love old 40s jazz, and I have a jazz band that does that old school Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday kind of stuff. So
that's the best.
Yeah, it's hard to put one thing on it, but I would definitely say that that there's a soulful bluesy quality to no matter what I'm singing. So,
what do you like to write about whenever you're writing your songs?
Man, I write about everything, and you never know. I don't know, like what's going to hit you, because I mean, I could see a story on the news and just be like inspired, you know, to say, okay, I'm going to write about that, or you know, like a lady was telling me, you know, oh, I just started dating again after, you know, all these years of being single and divorced and whatever, and I feel like a teenager again, and that just sparked a song, you know, and I started writing. So I never really know when it's going to come. Like there's little bits of songs on paper and on notes and everywhere. I mean, there's unfinished music all over my house. So.
If someone were to mention about who you sounded like or where you might have come from, who do you think that might be? If you were to compare yourself against somebody.
Well, when I was young, I was told in like vocal competitions and stuff that my lower register was kind of like Amy Grant. But more recently, and I thought this was hilarious, somebody told me that if Adele and Norah Jones had a love child, that it would be me. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. I like them both.
That is a really good compliment. They're both beautiful women. They're both very strong in who they are, and they're both amazing singers and musicians. I actually have their CDs and everything else, so that's a great love child to be, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say, you know, somebody else, but it could be a much worse combination, I guess.
I'm a cross between, like, Aerosmith and the Beatles.
There you go.
No.
It's a very interesting combo.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. It works.
Throwing some Guns N' Roses and you got the whole Sweet Child of Mine thing, I swear.
There you go. There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Your debut CD, Learn and Live, it's a compilation of Christian, country blues, and love ballads. You have this quote that I absolutely love. You called it, it's a smorgasbord of themes and styles because that's how life is. Can you talk about the CD and that quote?
Yeah, actually when I was putting that together, that was, you know, after my vocal cord paralysis, when my voice came back, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do my music. I'm taking stuff that I've written and I'm going to put it on a CD. And I started choosing songs, and people that I talked to, you know, they were like, well, that's a country song, and then that's a love, you know, kind of pop ballad, and then that's a Christian song. You know, you can't do that. You can't put them all in the same CD. You've got to pick a genre. And I thought, why? You know? Yeah, no, I don't want to. You know, I mean, that's not who I am, and I don't think that's how life is. I don't think most people probably listen to only one thing. You know, if you're honest, you probably do have a couple of different things that you listen to.
Right.
You know, and I just thought, you know, no, because life is about, for me anyway, you know, is about you know, having fun. It's about love. It's about God. It's about, you know, all these things. And these are the songs that are in my heart, and that's what I'm going to do. And it was great when it came out, because I had people from, you know, other countries that would like one of the country songs or would like the love song, and they would buy the CD, and they would, you know, email me later, and they would say, listen, I don't believe in God. I am an atheist, but I love your music.
Nice.
And, you know, they're still getting it. You know what I mean? And, and I feel like for me, that's great. You know, they're still getting a little bit of what I believe in, even if they don't believe in it, and they're still liking it. You know what I mean? And so It was just like, it was kind of an epiphany when it finally started coming around that way, and I thought, that makes sense. You know, that's the reason why right there. So all those people that said, you know, you can't do it, I just want to say, yes, you can. Right there. It's done.
Sweet. I like that. Now, your second CD, Second Chances, it's an EP of inspirational songs straight from the heart. Let's talk about that one, and why is it so different from the first one?
It is different. It sticks more to the Christian genre or inspirational genre, and I did that because it contains several songs that I wrote during the time that I couldn't sing, when my vocal cord was paralyzed, and one of them in particular is called "I Will Trust You." is just a really personal song about that time. There's a couple of songs on there just about being nice to each other, being kind, random acts of kindness to people, and how you never know how those things affect other folks. And it's great because like one of them has been picked up by a group. It's called In the Nick of Time, and it's about teen suicide, and it's an organization that's out there trying to help these kids that have been abused. And she is using a song that I wrote called What She Didn't Know, and it's about just being nice, you know, and not making fun of people, and not, you know, being rude. And she said that song just really touched her, and they use it. They actually have me come out to their conferences and sing. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's kind of the second chances, quote-unquote, story of me coming out of that time in my life, so.
Nice. And for everybody, can you mention the organization if you don't mind? Because that's something, bullying and stuff like that, I absolutely hate. And anything I can do to help stop it or whatever else, and, you know, try to get people to understand and open up. That's why when you mention something, can you give out the organization name? Is that okay?
Yes.
And the song?
Actually, it's called inthenickofTime.org. That's their website. And that, like I said, is against abuse and teen suicide. And the name of the song that they have been using is called What She Didn't Know. And that is on the Second Chances CD. And they work in conjunction with a group called Storm the Gate. And I'm not sure what their website is, but probably, you know, Googling the Storm the Gates. But they're kind of in conjunction with that, and that's just all against you know, abuse and drug abuse and all kinds of stuff for teens. It's just helping out, you know, teenagers in this time of, you know, it seems like things just get worse and worse, you know, more prevalent for them and harder for them to cope, so.
Okay, and the song was What She Didn't Know?
What She Didn't Know.
Okay, I actually love that song. I was, when I was going through your song list, that was the other one. If we have more time to, or do a second show, that was going to be one that I wanted to talk about as well.
Yeah.
So, and I love inspirational songs from the heart. It's, so many times people have a tendency to live without the heart, and I think that's practically impossible to do.
Yeah.
They try to go through life so tough and rugged, and it just doesn't work out in all situations. And so they have to actually get in touch, you know, for guys, whatever else they call that, you got to get in touch with your feminine side or something like that. I know, I swear. I'm horrible. But no, but it's true.
Your nails right now, Bryan?
No, not at all. This is so getting edited out.
So drop that. That's out.
Yeah. But no, seriously though, it is a beautiful CD, and the songs that you have on there are really amazing. I think it's really, really amazing about you is you actually have an Emmy nomination for one of your songs about this area where I live and both where you live, and it was absolutely beautiful. And you were nominated in 2011. You co-wrote a song with Mike Deason, and it's called Paradise Lost, and it's about the BP oil spill, which is, you know, a lot of people consider it's an environmental terror attack on the Gulf Coast, and, you know, and we're still suffering from it. And, you know, it's been going on for a year or a little over a year now, and there's still a lot going on in terms of cleanup and, you know, other kinds of things that are happening in the community. Can we talk about that song, if you don't mind, and the whole Emmy nomination stuff?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Well, Mike actually came up with the idea, and he is an investigative reporter for Channel 10, and he's very tough on TV, which is just awesome that he's a songwriter. You know, it's just you would never expect that he would be a songwriter. But we've done a few songs together, and he came to me with the idea, and you know, gave me some lyrics. And I have to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to write it. I
really?
Absolutely, yeah, I really didn't. I'm not I don't do like political pieces. You know, I don't feel
political piece.
Yeah, and I just don't do that, you know. I mean, I'm all about, like, flowers and love and be nice to each other and, you know, whatever.
That whole from the heart thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not, hey, I want to stab you and pull your heart out and stab, I mean, obviously that's just not the kind of music I write. So he was very resistant to writing it. It just was, I had like a block. And so he kept pushing me, to write it. He was like, hey, listen, there's this competition coming up, and I really want to enter the song. And so finally I'm like, all right, fine, I will do it. And so we finished it up and wrote the song. Well, Channel 10 actually picked it up, and they did a 1 hour special on the oil spill, and they used the song and did a little video montage. Yeah.
Channel 10 in your area is what station?
Oh, God, you would ask me that. I think it's TSP, WTSP.
Okay.
So, think. Oh my God, Mike's gonna kill me. I should know that.
It's okay. Everybody's gonna be going out and Googling it now, trying to find it. So, but we're gonna be playing the video in a little while. So.
Yeah. So, anyway, since they aired it, on the show, it was eligible to be nominated because it had aired, for a certain broadcast area, and it did get nominated. So we got to go to the Emmys, and it was really fun. We went in December, and it was a blast. So we didn't win, but oh my gosh, it was great. I got a dress, and that's all that matters.
You got the dress, got to do the walk. Did you have a speech written up or anything, or
no,
did you have that? Did you practice that? Oh, if I don't win, I got to still make this face and smile and stuff, and kind of clap, really nice. And did you do all that?
No, didn't plan a thing. No. I'm a very spur of the moment kind of girl, so you better be careful because I never know what's going to pop out the mouth. But no, nothing planned. Nothing planned.
Every now and then I'll do a very, very controversial show, and I've always told somebody if I ever get nominated for something like that and I don't win, I'll be like, you suck! I should have won that!
I know, right? I have to say, it was disappointing, because I really wanted to. But I feel vindicated because there was these little glow balls on the table that, changed colors, and I sold 2 of them. So I feel better. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I was like, if I don't get the gold statue, I'm taking the glowing balls home. I'm just saying. So, I did.
Oh my God, I love that. Please welcome our musical guest, Heather Leigh, with her Emmy-nominated song, Paradise Lost.
Fish are dying. Birds trying to fly with oil-covered coats. Can't stop the sludge from moving toward the coast. We watch it coming but can't do a thing. It's a bona fide political circus ring. And meanwhile our white sands won't be the same.
Your second song I want to talk about, this is very, very strong to me as well, and it's called With You. And what I like about it is because I'm a former Iraqi veteran, I was in the military for a very long time, and I got out when I got back from overseas. And there's some parts on the video that the soldier, it's about a man and his wife or his love, being away, they're away from each other. And there was a part in there that I really liked, and he pulls out this letter, and he's sitting in front of his tank or his armored vehicle, and he's sitting down there with all his battle rattle on. And I've actually done this, so I know how the guy felt when he pulled it out and he just kind of smelled the letter. And I was just like, the whole song is absolutely beautiful, because we go back to your piano, and you're sitting there playing the music, and you're playing on the piano, and you're just singing into it, and then they do these shots of him and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my God, that was so touching. Let's talk about that song. Why you wrote it, the storyline behind it, things like that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for your service to the country.
Yeah, okay.
And that's why I wrote it. And I just thought, there's a lot of patriotic songs out there that do salute soldiers, as there should be. There should be, God Bless America and all that kind of stuff. But I thought that families and wives get left out sometimes. The people that are left behind here, sacrificing for those servicemen and women to go. And I thought there should be a song for them, that just was appreciative for their sacrifice. And so that's when I wrote With You. And it's funny that you mentioned the letter, because the guy who plays my husband in the video is actually in the military himself. And when he was in Iraq, his wife would send him letters, and he would take them out and smell them. And she knew that, and she didn't know that was in the video. And when I had my video premiere party, she came, and she said, I told myself I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to cry. And then when that scene popped up, and she saw him pull that letter out and smell it, she lost it, because, he did that, and she knew that. And so... I've
got goosebumps thinking about that.
Yeah, I actually never thought I would have a music video. And I wrote the song just to write it, as I do just about everything. And I sat down to my piano at home and recorded it on my iPhone, me just playing it and singing it. And I posted it on my Facebook. And within about less than 12 hours of it being up, I had an offer from a local studio here. And they said, we want to shoot a music video for you for that song. And we wanted, as a promotional piece for us and as a promotional piece for you, and we want to do it because we want to honor our servicemen as well. And so that was awesome, to be able to do that, because I would never be able to afford that by myself, And so they shot the video, did an amazing job. It was Main Street Films, and Christian Cousin was the videographer that did that, that shot that. And so I think, for what it is, I think it came out really great, as a tribute to military and their families. So it's something I'm proud of.
Well, you should be. It's actually a beautiful song. The video is amazingly shot. It's a pet peeve of mine whenever people make music videos and it has nothing to do about the song, because I will actually go look at the video to help me learn the lyrics of the song or learn the meaning of the material of the song. And it's like somebody on stage and jumping around stage diving or drinking some whiskey or something crazy. And I'm like, it doesn't tell me anything about the song. And so when I saw that, I was just like, yes, the two mended together. That is beautiful. That's so good.
Well, good. I'm glad you approve.
Okay. There you go. You had the Bryan Lee Whatley stamp of approval.
Yeah, it's a bona fide stamp of, and I feel so much better now. I was waiting for that.
Okay.
Forget the Emmy nomination. I have Bryan's approval. I'm so happy.
Oh my goodness.
Here's Heather singing With You.
carry me to his side. Evening breeze running through the trees. Won't you whisper me to his mind? This distance keeping us apart can never separate our hearts. 'Cause when I'm with you, everything feels just right. And when I'm with you, I'm not afraid of the night. There's not another person in this world who can do what you do. 'Cause I'm free to just be me when I'm with you. You cross my mind about 1,000,000 times, and it always seems to make me smile. I wonder if you feel something that is real, or if you lie awake and just count the miles. This distance keeping us apart can never separate our hearts. 'Cause when I'm with you, everything feels just right. And when I'm with you, I'm not afraid of the night. There's not another person in this world who can do what you do. 'Cause I'm free to just be me when I'm with you. Oh, when I'm with you. Oh, when I'm with you. When I'm with you, yeah, yeah. There's not another person in this world who can do what you do. 'Cause I'm free to just be me. Yeah. When I'm with you.
Another song I want to talk about is Learn and Live, and this is from album 1.
Yeah.
So what I like about it, it's figuring things out about life and dealing with mistakes. Can we talk about that song?
Yeah. Well, I wrote it because people always say, well, learn and live. You know, you screw something up and they go, well, you know, live and learn. That's what they say. They say live and learn. You know, well, live and learn. You know, live and learn. And I just started thinking, I'm like, well, gosh, that kind of seems like a really crappy way to do stuff. You know, just like make mistakes all the time and then you learn from it. If we can, I'm thinking, why not try to learn a little bit, you know, from other people's mistakes or whatever, you know. Try to figure it out before you go out and screw something up, you know. And so that was my inspiration, was, you know, just kind of say, you know, let's just hold off and figure things out and then go. And then, no, and the verse says, you know, I'm not claiming that I'm not going to make mistakes and I'm not going to do things wrong. But if we can just kind of take these things that we know are the golden rules of life, you know, the things that we should be doing, and then do them. And if we say we believe in something, then we should do it and live it. Then we don't have to always go, oh, shoot, you know. we can learn first and then live. So that was the kind of concept behind it.
Nice. My mother used to always tell me all the time about, I've made these mistakes before, so I know exactly the mistake you're about to make. And so then she would tell me about it. And of course I was like, oh, gee, thanks, Mom. What a great way to ruin a Friday night. But it was, but she was so right about that. And it's learning about other people's mistakes. And if they're willing to share their story with you in order for you to be able to learn from it, based off of what they lived, then I think that's great, whether it's from somebody else or from yourself.
I mean, I have to say I'm not really great at learning from other people's mistakes. I have to say I really do make my own, like, I'm just a wild, honestly, nobody called me Heather Leigh unless I was in trouble, except my grandfather. He always called me Heather Leigh, which is why I decided to perform under that name. But everybody else calls me that when I'm in trouble, so I got called that a lot, really, because I just did. I was stubborn. But I still wrote it.
Still put it out there.
Maybe I can teach myself. Maybe somebody else will see it. No. I'm trying. I really am.
Here's Heather singing With You. Please welcome back Heather singing her first album cover, Learn and Live.
Some people say you gotta live and learn, but how many times have I gotten burned from the choices that I made when I thought I knew the way? But I was wrong, yeah, I was wrong. Mistakes. Oh, but that's a price I don't want to pay. If I'd only stop and hear what you say, then I won't be wrong. So much pain could be avoided, so much heartache, so much grief, if we'd only have the strength to live what we believe. Listen to your words and the wisdom that you give, then I won't have to live and learn. I just gotta learn and live, learn and live. Now I don't claim that I won't ever make mistakes, all the answers that it takes, but I know the one who does, and I know he knows my name, and he calls me child. So much pain could be avoided, so much heartache, so much grief, if we'd only have the strength to live what we believe. And if I'd listen to your words and the wisdom that you give, then I won't have to live and learn. I just gotta learn and live, learn and live. Oh, yeah. Learn and live, yeah.
The last song I want to talk about is called Second Chances, and this is also from album number 2 with Second Chances. And one of the reasons why I like this song so much, there's so many of them that I like, but one of the reasons why I want to talk about the song, it's so pretty because so many people need second chances. And whether it's the song talks about a person on the street or with a father and his daughter, and just to try to go out and grab your second chance. And even if it's from learning, from your mistakes from before, you still try to get a second chance. Can we talk about that song some?
Yeah. I actually started writing that when I we put a band together to start performing, after the first CD came out. And a lot of the guys that were in my band were, they had stories. I think everybody does. But, one of the guys had been a drug addict, and then he was, recovered. And then one guy was an alcoholic, and he was recovered. One of the other guys had been in a band, earlier in his years, and then kind of given up music and, had family and got married. And then he felt as though, playing with my band now was kind of a second chance for him. And then, of course, with my vocal cord, I felt like I had been given a second chance. And I'm like, you guys, we just need like a theme song. We need our second chance of theme song. So I started writing it, but just, thinking about life in general and how people need those things and in different situations. And one of my favorite lines in it is just let go of all your second chance, of all your circumstances, and grab your second chances. So sometimes we have to let go so that our hands are empty. You know what I mean? Like, we hold on to things so tight, and that leaves us unable to grab onto something new. And so that's one of my favorite, parts of that is letting all of that go, no matter what it is that you've been through. I know people have been through some really horrible things, but you let that stuff go. You grab your second chance, and you just keep moving,
Exactly. Well said. It's a beautiful song. It's another one of those. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and in case you didn't pick that out, but
But you don't cry.
But I don't cry at all, because I'm a guy. But the whole.
Except on mile number 5, right?
Yeah. But the whole person on the street, and the father with his daughter, he didn't get to see her most of her life, and then he gets to walk her down the aisle and everything. It's very, very beautiful. And just the sound of your voice, just putting behind it, just kind of reaches in and kind of grabs your own heart and soul and kind of shakes it a little bit. And I think it kind of does give people that ability to deal with your second chances and be able to recover from your first mistakes. So, great song.
And now here's Heather singing her second album cover, Second Chances.
Strung out junkie on the street, not the kind of guy you'd want to meet. But he's been living there so long, wondering when he'll get a score. Don't want to live like this no more, but there's just nowhere he belongs. Then one day someone saw past his pain and knelt beside him to pray. And he got a second chance, one more shot, 'cause this life is all we've got. You gotta make the most of every day. A second chance to do what's right and not give up without a fight. Take a stand and never walk away. Just let go of all your circumstances. Grab your second chances. Her daddy left when she was 3, an empty hole where memories should have filled her up inside. But when her finger got a ring, she couldn't keep from wondering who was gonna walk her down the aisle. So with trembling hand, she picked up the phone, and her daddy heard what he'd wanted for so long. A second chance, one more shot, 'cause this life is all we've got. You gotta make the most of every day. A second chance to do what's right, not give up without a fight. Take a stand and never walk away. chance to do what's right and not give up without a fight. Take a stand and never walk away. Just let go of all your circumstances. Grab your second chances. Grab your second chances. Oh yeah. Grab your second chances.
How'd you like it?
Don't. That's my other stamp of approval.
Yeah, woo, I got two now.
Yeah. So for some future projects and shows, appearances and things like that, you're going to be music festivals, autograph signings. Where can people go to see you?
Well, the most immediate thing coming up is I'm going to be at a charity event called Pitch for Pink, which is a breast cancer event at the Bright House Stadium in Clearwater. And I'll be singing during the Survivor Lap, which I've done for the last several years, and it's very touching and moving. All of the breast cancer survivors walk a lap around the field, and I get to sing my songs like while they're doing it, which is really awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very touching. I can't look when they're coming around. It's tough to concentrate together. And then some big events later on this year. I'll be singing on Royal Caribbean. There's an event, a Christian coordinated event. They've blocked out rooms on Royal Caribbean, and I will be doing special music every night for 4 nights on the ship. And so you get to cruise. And we're going to Cozumel and visiting an orphanage as our excursion while we're there. And there's one itinerary in November and one in December. And the one in December includes the whole band, so we'll be playing every night, and so that'll be really fun. But the calendar changes all the time, and so you can keep up with that on my website. So.
Okay. And this is where people can contact you, such as your websites and stuff. Now, what I have is HeatherLeighSound.com, so that's Heather Leigh as in Leigh sound.com. Yeah. And your Twitter is the number 1, Heather Leigh. Number 1. Your Facebook page is facebook.com/Heather Leigh Sounds. I also have you on iTunes with Heather Leigh, so you can get her music from there. She has a MySpace page for Heather Leigh Sound and Reverb Nation for Heather Leigh Sound as well. There's some other places where people can contact you. Or did I cover it pretty much?
Yeah, that's the best place.
I do my homework.
Yeah, I mean, they're all, you did. I'm like, I think that's all of them. Way to go. The email, I mean, I'm on Facebook all the time. So seriously, if anybody wants to really chat it up with me, Facebook is the place to be. Because I'm always checking that. But there is a direct email address that goes directly to me on my website, which is Heather Leigh at HeatherLeighSound.com. And there's also a booking website on there, if anybody's looking, because we do private parties, we do church services. My kids actually sing with me and my husband at church events, and festivals we do. They're fabulous too, and so they sing with me, and we do a variety of stuff. Like, I guess you just never know where we're going to be, but and we do just about anything. So if anybody wants us to sing anywhere, they just have to hit me up, and and we'll do it.
Oh, nice. Well, if you ever get up to around Mobile area and you're doing some festival or whatever, we have all these music festivals up here. It'd be great to listen to you live. So if you ever get a chance to come up here, just let me know, and I'll be front row down there listening to you. So.
Yay! I would love it.
Do you have any final thoughts or anything you would like for everyone to know?
I would just like to thank all the people that have, been around from day one. There are some really special fans that I have from day one. I mean, they're actually with me during my vocal paralysis, and just saying, you can do it, keep going, keep moving. I can't wait for your first CD to come out. I can't wait for your second CD to come out. And I want to thank those people because they're just great. That's kind of why you keep doing what you're doing. And then I would also just like to encourage people that if they're having a rough time or something is going bad and it just seems like, it's not going to work out, I would just encourage them to just keep moving, putting one foot in front of the other and waking up every day and heading for your goals, because, you do just have to get those second chances and move on, and you can. It does happen. You just have to keep moving. So I would just like to encourage people to do that.
Very well said. I like that. Very beautiful. Well, on behalf of everyone who works at the show and all the stations around that air the show around the nation and worldwide, I'd like to thank you for being on the show. It's an honor for me to talk to you, to listen to your music, for you to give your passion for your work and your music out to everybody, and it's absolutely amazing. So I hope the fact that you continue, and I really do hope that you continue on with your music, because I understand you've got a lot of things going on, but you're so gifted and your voice is so angelic, and you really should continue to sing. So thank you so much for being on our show and sharing your music with us.
Oh, thank you, Brian. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you asked me to come on the show.
Well, it's completely my honor. And so, I wish you a very beautiful night and a week ahead and everything else. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
At Taylor Gifts, we do customized monogramming and embroidery. We can monogram anything from a simple one name on a bib for a baby to a customized logo on a company shirt. We can make gifts for your wedding entourage and gifts for your friends. Label your children's items for school and put names on jerseys for sports. If you have items of your own you want them monogrammed and embroidered, we can do that. Tailor Gifts are sewn with high-quality thread on a professional embroidery machine. So go to the website www.tailorgifts.net, call 251-391-4354, email sales@tailorgifts.net, visit us at ETSY, and Facebook us. We are ready for your orders.
Welcome to WROM, Realms of Music Radio and Social Network. We support independent artists and talk shows, hosting a large discussion forum and an artist gallery. We also have a large social network combining the best of Facebook and MySpace into one. So make sure you submit your music to us and create a profile to promote yourself today. That's realmsofmusic.com, the best of music radio.
The Ghost Tales Television Network, GTN. GTN is designed to give the paranormal TV and filmmaking community the opportunity to showcase their talents and creations. If you believe you have what it takes to create your very own TV show and or short film and you would like the opportunity to showcase your creations, you may contact us at ghosttalestv@gmail.com or call 901-377-7166 for more details. Make sure you visit ghosttalestv.com. GTN, America's Paranormal Superstation.
Jackalope 105 FM on jackaloperadio.com. Your alternative to the grind of internet and FM radio. When we say diversity in programming, we mean it. Lots of stations brag, throw out a hype, and pad their numbers. Well, we don't. Accept no limitations. When you truly want awesome 24-hour radio, tune in to Jackalope and rock your routine. Jackalope 105 FM on jackaloperadio.com.
Thank you for listening to the show. I am your host, Bryan Lee Whatley, and I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next time when another story begins. Until then, love and light.